just isn't good enough that I want to draw multiple every game. Drawing the second Alpine Moon really sucks. That is a valid concern. Cutting ops drops the number of Snapcaster Mage targets. That is definitely worth mentioning, I think. I think it's worth noting, though, too, that a lot of the time you'd prefer to be snapcasting burn spells rather than ops. But I definitely think maybe leaving like 2 ops in or so. But like I said, I'm almost certain that 3 censors is too many, but I just want to put 3 in for this league that we're playing because I want to be able to draw them to gauge how they feel in the deck. Did I not update Stream Decker? I did not update Stream Decker. It'll be updated half a second. Hold on, thank you. Updated the stream title, but not Stream Decker. All right, Stream Decker's good to go. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if like 2 and 2 were correct. I really love, and I know myself, there's a good chance that if I end up playing this at the open, that I put at least 1 censor in the deck, because if you do well enough to top 8 with a deck like this, and you top 8 with a card like Censor in your deck, it's a card that like gains you mental percentage points from your opponent knowing that it's in your deck list, which is valuable. There's a good chance the path was very bad for them because I had another thing here, because I had another Delver. Yep. Well, I'm glad this Wandering Fumarole is a Wandering Fumarole, because we have too many lands right now. Worth noting how much better Mana Leak was than Path there, or Mana Leak was than Censor. Like, Censor wouldn't have been good enough. Although I suppose you could have argued that if that Mana Leak had been Censor, I would have just censored the search to begin with. I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to play the Clique out, or draw that card, so I'd like to draw a Clique for sure. Delver's just doing his best to get by in the world chat. He's just a little guy. Condemn. Nope, let's not do that. Yeah, and like, Censor has such a low cost included with it, just because like, you get to cycle it if someone is aware that it's there and is playing around it well. He's dead, Jim. Yeah, I agree. So I made a small mistake here. I should have Vendilion clicked in response to that path, because now they have Cryptic Command up. Although they're tapping out, so that's nice for us. Deal. Please plus this Jace. Please plus this Jace. Please plus this Jace. They're brainstorming. Gosh, that's aggressive. The Celestial Colonnade is going to be a problem here. It's a card that just stonewalls our creatures. I'm going to double Fetch Shock here because I want there to be a basic left in my deck for when they Field of Ruin my creature land. I think I just leave them with that. Yeah, I can kill it with Bolt plus Sprite. That is definitely true. I'm thinking of naming our upcoming stream baby Deathrite Shaman. Thank you for the 8-month resubscription, Apple Tunes. Welcome. Well, I guess I should have clicked them. I guess I should have clicked the Logic Knot out of their hand. I didn't realize I was playing around Entry. But that what you articulated there doesn't make any sense. You're saying you want to cut Unsub and Remand because you're worried about having them without enough pressure, but you don't want to exchange them for pressure. You want to exchange it for something that's not pressure. So like, what's the deal here? Like, so what do you think? Do you think you don't have enough pressure? Like, if you think we don't have enough pressure, we should add more pressure to the deck. We shouldn't cut these other things. Like, I think a better solution or approach to deck building is, I think this deck doesn't have enough pressure consistently. Let's add more pressure to the deck. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Y'all ever kicked a Burst Lightning? Y'all ever kicked a Burst Lightning before? Am I just passing here? I think I'm just passing here. We know they have Logic Knot. I think I'm just passing here. I pass, I end step, kick Burst Lightning at their Angel, and then I can untap and fire up all 3 creature lands and smash. My article, if you pop into the subs Discord, Berts, I have an article in there talking about why I have made the decision that I've made to play this deck over Blue-Black Fairies. It'll be up for everybody to view on Gathering Magic tomorrow. Do I want to kick this in response here? No, probably not. That's fine. We knew that field was coming, right? We knew that field was coming. Oh, Discord's currently spazzing, right? Another field's a pretty good draw. We know about Logic now, yeah. So I'm not expecting this Burst Lightning to resolve, but I am expecting them to tap out so they can't use the Colonnade this turn. A Third Degree, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. So I have enough mana to animate both Mutavaults and kick Burst Lightning here, right? Can we just take a moment and pour one out for my boy Nimble Obstructionist? Can we just take a hot second and pour one out for my boy Stiflebird? Can we just like take a moment of silence for Stiflebird? Oh gosh, they drew Cryptic Command. That's really unfortunate. Rough. Okay. Okay. Tharong with the 4-month free subscription. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Alright, so they have Logic Knot and then 2 cards we don't know. I just kick this here, right? Just like kill your Angel. God, do I kill the Angel or do I kill them? I kill the Angel, right? Yeah, I definitely kill the Angel. Ginger Cakes. Stifle Pigeon is best. Thank you for the 100 biddies. I appreciate it. And then next turn, I can smash with all of these and Stifle Bird the Colonnade, putting them to 3. Because guess what you can't Logic Knot? Activated abilities. Can't Logic Knot those, chat. Can't Logic Knot them activated abilities. You can stifle Snapcaster Mage triggers too? This card just does everything. This card just does actual everything. Yeah, we can stifle Miracle triggers as well. What if we didn't do that? And you get a card for doing it. That's like the definition of tempo, right? Buddy! Oh, lordy! Lordy! Woo! Woo! Oh, chat! Oh, chat! Oh, chat! I just, oh, the stifle bird! The stifle bird! Alright, this is the last deck of the day. This is the first match with it, though, so we've got a little bit of time here. Oh! Oh, Burst Lightning has appeared. So I'm going to go ahead and enter combat here and just attack with these two in case my opponent has drawn another Cryptic command. I am so happy we put a third bird in this deck. I am unreasonably happy that there is a third bird in this deck. Kill you. They have a Logic Knot. We'll Snap Burst Lightning them in response. I would like the record to reflect that not only did we win this game because of Nimble Obstructionist, but we won it because Burst Lightning kicked up to 4 points of damage and killed that angel. Burst Lightning kicking is a big reason we won this game. And look at this, we played around the Cryptic successfully here by not activating the Mutavault. This deck, it speaks to my soul too. This deck is just everything I want to be doing in Magic the Gathering. Quite literally everything I could ever want in life. Yeah. Alright, I think I just trim a Censor here. Can you explain how Stifle Bird works? Yeah, they just draw the card and it doesn't do anything. I think I'm gonna trim a Censor. Just do this. What do you think of this? We have 4 copies of Wizard Lightning because we want to kill our opponent. Am I gonna make a sideboard guide for this deck? Yeah, not this week, but I think my article next week, once I have a better idea of what 75 I want to play, I'm gonna write a full guide to the deck. I don't know if I want Alpine Moon for Colonnade. 1 might be okay. Colonnade is pretty annoying. I write for gatheringmagic.com. You can find my articles every week here. Yeah, I'm gonna bring in 1 Alpine Moon. One moon. Just a little small taste. We'll cut 2 cents. I do like that Censor makes boarding easier, because trimming Censor is just easy, right? It's like basically a filler card. This is a pretty easy mulligan here. Need more lands. Seen this more than good. It's great. I would love another one. This game looks and feels pretty good. Looks and feels pretty good. Boop. But that hand didn't have a Censor in it, so like, it's not like I would have had an opt in that hand. This worked out really well for you last time, opponent. I like that you're doing it again. Also, worth noting that that last game went much better for us because we had a 4th basic in our deck. I'm gonna play this Clique now, and I like all of the cards in my hand, so I'm not going to click them, but unless they have another path here... Snap, Clique, or Fetches. Fetches are the thing you could cut. I probably wouldn't cut anything else. Well, that is certainly a hand. I mean, I just, like, take the Path to Exile and, like, try and kill them here, right? I really hate taking a card from someone who missed a land drop, but I think it's worth doing that here. You think the 4th basic is better than the Fairy Conclave? Probably. Like, I'm gonna kill them really quickly with this Vendilion Clique and these counter spells, so, like, I think giving them the land there is fine. No, I think Chad is undervaluing killing the opponent. I main phased the Clique for the reason you just saw there. My opponent had a Path to Exile in their hand, and I wanted to take their path away as opposed to letting them path my Vendilion Clique. Halfway to greatness, it's Lethal. Thank you for the 6-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. So do I want to fire up Mutavault or not? I don't think so. Yeah, definitely, Jojo. 110% can request that they let you read the other side. I just need everybody to enjoy that for a minute. For the record, I don't think the control matchup with this deck is that good. I think they have more answers than we have threats on average, and we're running a good mixture of hot and them running bad. But I'll take it. I would love to remand your 4-mana spell. Pick it up. Untap land. Ding. Ding. Yeah, next turn we negate the Jace. I would believe that maybe the blue-white control matchup is okay. The Jeskai matchup's probably terrible. I can't wait to rebuild this pile of hot garbage. Whammy, thank you for the 2-month resubscription. What if instead we didn't kill my Mutavault and you didn't get a land back? What if instead I just drew a card? Would that be okay? Would we be okay with that? There might be some salt in chat at the moment. There might be a smidgen of sodium in the game chat right now. Oh, yes. Excellent. Mediocre, underpowered blue and red cards with instant speed abilities. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out today. Welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer, memer, content producer here on Twitch. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are a big part of why I'm able to stream full-time like I do. I wouldn't be here without all of their very wonderful support. Past that, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com will love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. Honey would love to save you some money. If you install Honey using bit.ly/HoogleHoney, you'll be supporting my content here at no cost to yourself. Honey is a free browser add-on that when you're shopping online, if you have it installed, it takes a peek at the stuff that you have in your shopping cart, and it searches online automatically for coupon codes. And if it can save you money on things you're buying anyways, it offers to save you money. And if it can't, it leaves you completely alone. So it doesn't annoy you at all, and it only does wonderful things. So check it out at that bit.ly. Lisa would like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Lisa creates foam mattresses. Christy and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 6 weeks now. I don't think we'd ever go back to a traditional pillow top. You can check out links bit.ly/HugelbedUS and bit.ly/HugelbedCA to save $160 or more on your new mattress with Lisa. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there, Hoaglandia. Hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. Thanks for spending part of your time here with us. You're hanging out playing some blue-red Delver. If you think this deck is sweet, and I think this deck is sweet, be sure to check out my YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. 100% of my streams get archived there, and I break them up by deck so you can watch just the matches that you care about. This is the archetype that I'm pretty confident I'm playing at the Open in Indianapolis in a week and a half. So I've been playing it a bunch. That seems fine. Like, not super exciting, but fine. Think there's any way to make Spellstutter Sprite work in a Just Sky Flash Shell with Queller and early interaction? Yeah, I think not having Mutavault makes Spellstutter Sprite pretty significantly worse. No, this deck's green, black, and Judd matchup usually is a little bit better because they have more threats that you can interact with. Stone Rain, Cantrip, Burn. What's my record with this deck so far? I believe our leagues, I think this is the 4th league we've played it in since I picked it back up. And I believe we've gone 4-1, 2-3, and 5-0. And we're 1-0 to start this league. Maybe, Tony. Maybe. I'd be pretty surprised if 3 Censors is correct. That's probably at least 1 too many. But I'm interested to see how Censor and Unsubstantiate feel throughout the course of the league. If Izzet Charm could shock my opponent, I would play it in a heartbeat, but the fact that it can't, I think, makes it pretty bad. No, you pretty much need Mutavault. AD Hammy picking up that sweet Lisa mattress. Thanks for the support. I assume you're going to love it. It's quite great. All right, that's fine. I didn't want those cards anyways. Joke's on you. Censor can't shock either, but it can, what's the word I'm searching for? It can replace itself with a new card. Yeah, I would not play this deck without Mutavault. I think if you don't have access to Mutavault, I would strongly recommend. You could budget the fetch lands. You could maybe even budget Vendilion Cliques by maxing out an Obstructionist, but I would not recommend cutting Mutavault. I don't think Izzet Charm's good enough, not only because we have 4 colorless lands in our deck, but also because it just, like, doesn't give us enough return for what it does. Can you build this deck without Snapcaster? It's a lot worse without Snapcaster. Snapcaster Mage is our best source of card advantage. I think the only thing I would realistically say you could budget and still play the deck with some consistency are, our Scalding Tarns and Vendilion Cliques. I'm gonna leak punching the clock here. So, do I shock here? I just play the Fumarole and pass. If you don't have any blue cards, you can substitute Goblin Bushwhacker. And the rest of the 8-whack archetype. American Gamer, thank you for the 9-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. What would I replace the Cliques with if I didn't have them? I'd go up to the 4th Obstructionist. And then maybe some Grim Lavamancers. Yeah, probably like 4th Obstructionist and then Grim Lavamancers. I mean, okay, so like this is the part where I have to decide how quickly do I want, like, this is the most important part about this deck. You need to identify your role in every matchup that you're playing. It's worth noting here that if this was a Fairy Conclave, we'd be in a better spot for racing here. I kind of want to just play this Spellstutter Sprite out and start attacking them. Like, they're at 12. I have 9 points in my hand. Like, I think I just play Sprite and start killing them. Like, Wizard Lightning, Snapcaster Mage, other bolts, Burst Lightning. We have a ton of lethal draws at this point. And they're dead. Good shit. This is why playing 8 lightning bolts is awesome. This deck pivots really hard and fast. Sometimes you're the aggro deck, sometimes you're the control deck. These decks live and die by proper role assessment. That might be an okay substitute for Clique, but it's almost certainly worse. For anybody wondering why my Spellstutter Sprite didn't counter this Hollowed one, you should read Spellstutter Sprite. So this is a mental thing. I am going to cycle this Censor even though I don't need to, because I want to show them that there are multiple Censors in my deck, because I am boarding out all my copies of Censor in this game, in this matchup. So I want them to know that there are multiple Censors in my deck, because I want them to think about that while they're playing the rest of the match. If you know you're cutting the Censor, you should go out of your way to show it to your opponent. Remember when we flashed in the Spellstutter Sprite and it did 1 point of damage? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Remember when our Spellstutter Sprite did 1 point of damage? Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. All right. Don't be afraid to play your Spellstutter Sprites out as naked creatures in this deck. Do not be afraid to play your Spellstutters as naked creatures. Oh yeah, Flame Slash is fine. Flame Slash is fine. Working through it. I think especially on the draw, these remands probably aren't good enough. Maybe the mana leaks aren't good enough. I think since I'm bringing in these Staticasters, I'm going to cut a piece of this top end here. So Staticaster serves 2 purposes in this deck. Staticaster not only keeps Bloodghasts in check in this matchup, but this card also allows us to upgrade our removal spells. So Staticaster plus Wizard Lightning kills Hollowed One. Staticaster plus Flame Slash kills Gurmag Angler. Double Staticaster can keep Flame Wake Phoenixes in check. So basically it's not only keeping their 1 toughness things dead, but it's also helping us turn our softer removal into hard removal. I went up a Disdainful Stroke because Disdainful Stroke kept overperforming. I think I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this. Yeah, Harvest Pyre is a sweet card. It's very possible that I want 2 Harvest Pyres in this deck, because it's just a red card that lets us kill 5 toughness things. Remand is much better than Disdainful Stroke if there are things already in play is the thing. What do you think, chat? If we call no land hands Hearthstone hands, What do we call this? What do I refer to this as? We need I need something. MTG hand. I should keep because they're gonna Burning Inquiry me, right? That's the logic. What a low variance game, Magic the Gathering. This 4 with that top is very, very good. This 4 with that top is very good. So let's just, you know, it's gonna be okay. All right, you're gonna hide right where you're at, little Delver. You're gonna hide right where you're at. Nobody's gonna hurt you, okay, little Delver? Good night, my sweet prince. Good night. So you're saying there's a chance. So you're saying there's a path. No! 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 This is so rude. Why would you do this to me? Why? Why? And we like drew the burst, like if I had a roast here still, we'd have been okay. Maybe roasting the Grim Lavamancer was wrong. I don't know, chat. I don't know. I guess if we flip this bad boy and they don't have removal, we could be okay. Yeah, like maybe we can race here. We're definitely in a spot where we could race. A Momir hand, that's what we can call it. We can call it a Momir hand. Momir hand. I like it. Love it. Love it. Yeah, there's a non-zero chance this Delver can race. All right, there's a 0 chance this Delver can race. I think we're done here at this point. Let's go ahead and get our next game on the play here. All right, so on the play, Remand and Mana Leak get a lot better. What do we think about cutting Nimble Obstructionist on the play? Card's kind of medium in this matchup. I'm thinking doing this. I guess Mana Leak is similar. They're never going to have mana to play around Mana Leak. You're like, okay, yeah, let's go 2-2. I like that too. I like that too. Let's do this. Let's do this. I have Cliques and Delvers and 12 Lightning Bolts. We can kill people. We can kill people. Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely, like, not going to be in a position that racing is good enough. You're on the play plan is don't mulligan to 4, right? That seems like solid advice. No, I really, like, have you seen all these hands I've just mulliganed because of Mutavault? I really don't want blue cards in my deck. Really don't want blue cards in my deck. If I can avoid it, especially not on 2. We're 1-0 and we're in game 3 here. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Well, the Phoenix can't block, Doof Monster. The Phoenix doesn't block. It has to attack. Just gonna go ahead and kill this with fire. Hopefully we draw a 2-mana counterspell here. Yeah, this deck is also fairly mana hungry. That's not bad. I'm just gonna put this land into play tapped. I don't think it's worth trying to bluff anything here. The opponent's playing an aggressive deck. They're not playing around anything. Familiar's Ruse is pretty bad, speaking from experience. Just like Modern, and especially the games of Magic that this deck is generating, you're not losing because you're not losing because your mana leak was dead. Generally speaking, you're losing because you didn't have enough pressure. Or you couldn't cast your spells. Like one of the two, pick one. I think Delay is pretty significantly worse than something like Remand or Unsubstantiate. You want to make your opponent have to spend more mana down the line. Delay lets them recast their spell for free. Delay doesn't actually get you mana advantage, it just delays their thing. It's gonna be a Delve Monster. No, Ninja of the Deep Hours is a pretty individually weak card, and Modern is a format that's very much about board presence and attacking and blocking. And Ninja of the Deep Hours is not good when people can block it. I had 2 Roast in my sideboard for a little bit too. It's very possible that that's the correct number of that card as well. Yeah, we probably are attempting to trade the Snapcaster Mage plus for this Gurmag Angler. Alright, well they bend to Hollowed one there. That potentially bodes well for us. Bloodghast is coming back here. Yep. Down to 12. Yeah, that's probably the game. Much too far behind at this point. Moving on. Awesome, Ceased. Good to know. Good to know. Thank you for that feedback. I think it's very possible I just want 2 Roasts on the sideboard to have more consistent ways to deal with those large creatures. We have a Abrade and Flame Slash to kill Hollowed one as well, so maybe that's good enough. Harvest Pyre was real awkward there. The fact that we just never had enough cards to use it, so maybe that should just be the other copy of Roast and the Harvest Pyre is just too cheeky. I could definitely see that being the case. We're 1-1 in this league. We beat Blue-White Control and we just lost to Hollowed one. Yeah, possibly. Leaving the extra card in the bin because we had the Harvest Pyre. I could see that. Yeah, if we draw Roaster's Juicer Roast or something like that. Yeah, I wanted to get a fourth basic into the deck. And Conclave was the easy cut to get a fourth basic into the deck. Seems pretty good. It's got some threats and it's got some disruption. Living End. This matchup's pretty okay for us. Unsubstantiate is an absurd draw. Censor was okay against blue-white. We're trying it over the copies of Opt, because Opt's been, like, kind of medium, just, like, not super impressive. Hopefully we draw another blue source here. Or Delver flips, one of the two. We just don't want to see a creature here. Deal. The fact that Opt is just like a cantrip that doesn't set up. And actually, this is an interesting take on it too. The fact that Censor is a cantrip that game 1 against humans doesn't get made more expensive by them having doesn't get made more expensive by them having Thalia in play is actually a pretty big deal, right? At least in my mind, that seems like a big deal. Seems valuable. I think turn burn is too slow. Like 5 mana for a removal spell is just so much mana. Thanks, Corky. If they have double Cascade spell here, we're gonna be dead. Smells like they might. Nope, no Cascade spell right now. That's good for us. Can you explain why it's deceptively bad? Beast Within into another one is pretty bad for us here too. Be a little bit too slow here. This deck actually isn't very good with Treasure Cruise. Like, did you see how hard of a time we had with getting Harvest Pyre to work? So, like, this actually isn't a good Treasure Cruise deck. It's a pretty bad Treasure Cruise deck, in fact. Stiflebird does hit Cascade. I like how people keep asking me why I counterspelled the Beast Within. Chat, they were trying to kill my only blue source, chat. Please pay attention if you're going to critique my play. I like valid specific feedback, but like if the Mutavaults had been blue sources, I would have just let the Beast Within resolve. They were Beast Withining my only blue source though. So if I let that resolved, I did not have Unsubstantiate up next turn. If I had a play to allow me to leave Unsubstantiate up next turn, I would have made that play. This is going to be a Snapcaster Mage on 2 draw for sure. Just going to run him out there. Yep, 10 out of 10 Ambush Viper time. Gotta kill him dead. Well, it's hoping for a land there. Our deck has 17 blue sources in it. That's plenty of blue sources for a deck with the cards that we're playing. I don't think this deck ever had a bad Tron matchup. I think the Tron matchup is pretty reasonable. Nimble Obstructionist is obviously good there, but like, I don't ever think that matchup was bad. They cycled an Arc Fiend of Ifnir. Man, it's unfortunate we don't have 3 mana. Yeah, you should just put other fetch lands in that can fetch some of your lands. Yeah, this matchup's very good if we actually get to play Magic. We just, like, have Magic things happen where we don't get to actually play Magic. Like, that's much worse for us, obviously. I've played 23 lands in this deck in the past before, and honestly, I could see that being correct. Just, like, I feel like, especially with the creature lands that this deck plays, I lose far more games to, like, this and the last game not having enough lands than I would lose to having too many lands. Nimble can shut down Cascade, that is correct. What's going to happen here, because we missed so many land drops, is the same thing that happened last game. They're going to do something on our turn that we have to interact with, and then they're going to untap and do something else on their turn, and we die. What do you cut for the extra land? Probably a threat. I don't think you can afford to go lower than 20 instants and sorceries. Part of me wonders, with Nimble Obstructionist, if maybe you can afford to go down to less than 4 Spellstutter Sprites. Like, I couldn't afford to cut Spellstutter Sprite when I played this deck back forever ago, but, like, trimming some of them since we have Obstructionist as extra threats doesn't seem completely unreasonable. Yeah, exactly. I think especially because of the creature lands, you lose far more games to not having enough lands than to having too many lands. A cycle land? No. This is match 3. Really weird that they decided to do this in response to the Delver. They have another Cascade card. Obviously, we're dead here, but it is what it is. What time am I done today? After this league. That's fair. They knew I would counter and just wanted to auto pass. All right, well, that draw probably locks up the game. That draw probably locks the game up. I didn't have 3 mana up, Whiskey Dingo. Cycling Nimble Obstructionist cost 3. Thanks, Evan. I appreciate it. Welcome. What if we didn't do that? I'm attacking for 5, 6, 7, so I don't want to flash in the Snapcaster Mage. That is not quite lethal. If I would have flashed in the Snapcaster Mage, that would have been lethal. But I think it's right to hold it so I can unsub the Thragtusk again next turn. Hobbs with the 3-month resubscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. I appreciate it. Thank you for the continued support. It's like, watching Lewis Black play Magic sometimes. All right, so here's a question. Am I supposed to Obstructionist? Do I play around a Ricochet trap here? Thanks, Devin. I appreciate it. Do I... No, it's like the Ricochet trap, right? Like, Ricochet trap could put this Thragtusk into play. Yeah, I think I counter the trigger, bolt them, and then snap bolt them. Snap unsub gets blown out by Ricochet trap. I guess Snapcaster Mage counts as a blue spell. So if they have a trap, they can Ricochet trap my bolt this turn. It does, but this leaves them at 3 with this line. If I would have hit an untapped land there, I could have negated the Ricochet trap this turn. No, the trigger from a card goes on the stack. It's going to happen regardless. Even if the card is removed. Yeah, I don't know about these censors, but the 3 Obstructionists and the Unsubstantiates feel pretty okay. I think I also should just, like, have this other roast in my deck. I have another roast in my deck. The Harvest Pyre was really medium that last game, and it's making me think that I'd rather have Grim Lavamancer rather than Harvest Pyre. No, I think Stroke's too narrow. We're 1-1 in this league. This matchup's pretty good for our deck as is, so we don't board much. We just, like, slide out the Burst Lightnings and slide in 2 copies of Negate. We lost to Hollowed 1. We mulliganed to 4 in one of the games. That was a real bad beat. We also had Harvest Pyre be awkward to cost us the 3rd game. If it would have been Roast, we'd have been a lot better off. This hand's got double counterspell and plenty of land, so I'm going to keep it. Totos with the sub gift. Thank you for the support. Do you need Lava Man on top of 2 Staticasters? Maybe not. I don't know. I like that Lavamancer upgrades our Lightning Bolts to kill Gurmag Anglers, which is nice. That bolt's got one direction to go. It's got but 1 life to live. I think Vapor Snag is fine. I'm trying out Unsubstantiate in the Vapor Snag slots today. Is basically what it's going. No, I definitely want 2 Staticasters in this deck, and that's not particularly close. Really confident I want 2 Staticasters. The Mardu Pyromancer matchup is hard without seeing Staticasters, so I want to have them to draw it. I think we just keep playing the waiting game here. Delver's a good draw, because it means next turn I can play a land and Delver. The fact that I have 2 counterspells and 4 lands guaranteed here means I can beat them trying to combo if they, like, end-step combo, untap, try to combo again. Actually, I think I'm going to just go Mountain Pass here. And then I'll end step Vendilion Clique them, just so I can get a little bit more information about what I'm playing around and how. Like, this is actually a good example. Like, could you imagine if this was Vapor Snag? Like, I would have boarded Vapor Snag out, right? And, like, this hand wouldn't have been keepable with something else in it. So really kind of showing the flexibility that Unsubstantiate kind of offers us. If they play a 6th untapped land and they have double Violent Outburst, we can get punished for playing the Clique, but I do just need to put pressure into play and start killing them. So... they have, like I said, if they have double Outburst, they get to get us here. I guess they could have Outburst plus Trap too, that's true. I need to kill them though. Like if they have 2 things, sure, I'm dead. Like, if we just sit here and keep playing this waiting game, like, maybe I'm supposed to play the Delver this turn instead? I don't know. Clique's a lot of pressure. Alright, yeah, this Mana Leak isn't good enough. So I'm going to take the Demonic Dread out of their hand. No, this is the 4th league for today. I've been live for almost 6 hours. Yeah, Ananomic, that's intentional. The person who donated for it the second time asked that I put a second copy in the queue. That was wrong. I should have played Scalding Tarn. So that way I could shuffle the Delver trigger if it misses. Or if it just shows me a card that I don't want to draw. Hopefully they just cast Shriek Maw here. They have 7 cards. We know 4 of them. Pretty big mistake playing the wrong land there. It's definitely something that could come back to bite me here. That's brutal. I'm your son from the future, here to warn you that Stoneforge Mystic is too good for mono. What's going on, Wraith PK? Thanks for the support. Well, didn't get punished for not playing out the Scalding Tarn at least. So, bad news. Our clock is gone. Mostly. Let's see, it started out really good. Asgardian Gaming, thanks for checking out, honey. I appreciate it. Welcome. What? I mean, if I put a 23rd land in the deck, it would be a creature land. Yep. Magic's a low variance game. And this is why, like, when people focus on just the result of the game that you played, like, we're probably about to be 1-2 in this league, right? But, like, our losses include this game 3, and they include a match against Hollowed 1 where we mulliganed to 4, right? So it's definitely not objective to just, like, look at the results that you had and be like, well, the result of the lead, the number at the end was the only thing that mattered here. I did some pressure a little bit sooner there. Unsubstantiates felt pretty good. I don't know about these censors. I like the third obstructionist. Unsubstantiates seem pretty reasonable. Just like Remand, Vapor Snag, split card. I think I want a second roast in the board. I mean, I regret playing Magic for this league, but I don't regret playing Fairies. Like, nothing that's occurred here is explicitly Fairies' fault. It's you know, just like things that come with the territory of playing Magic the Gathering. Magic's a game that has variance by design. It's like not amazing, but fine. I'm gonna bottom that. We're looking for a threat. I've got a potentially hot take here. Serum Visions is not a good Magic card. It's a Magic card that is better than a lot of the other bad options that you're presented with, but its effect is generally not worth the 1 mana you're spending on it. I'd rather just have more redundancy in the types of cards I'm playing rather than play a card like Serum Visions that I don't think is particularly good. I don't think Opt is particularly good either. Most of the blue cantrips in Modern are bad for a reason. It's funny, actually. The more Magic I play, the more I kind of appreciate the fact that the good cantrips are banned in Modern. I think having good cantrips is one of the things that makes Legacy so unenjoyable. Makes it very clear which are the best cards you should be playing. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit of variety in your gameplay. Like, we play Magic for the variety of gameplay experience, right? Like, the reason why we're here playing Magic and we're not playing something like Go or chess is because variety of gameplay is enjoyable. Worth noting that that was better than Vapor Snag would have been there. I guess Vapor Snag would have dealt a point of damage. Games like these remind me of why I stopped playing Magic competitively, because like playing a game like this and like losing a match, or like playing 3 matches like this where we flood and die and stumble and die, like in a Magic Online League is like whatever, right? We get to like shrug it off, and it was an $8 entry fee. We get to like try again next time, and there's really no skin off my back. Whereas like to like travel to a tournament and like miss day 2 playing a bunch of matches like this feels pretty exceptionally bad. Playing just online, especially producing content, definitely allows me to focus on the interesting and fun aspects of Magic more than anything else. I don't really want to trade these for their creatures, I don't think. I think we're just in the let's hope to draw Wizard Lightning portion of the gameplay. Yeah, pretty much Magic-wise. Like, the amount of money you make traveling to play Magic is, like, pretty insignificant, even at, like, the Pro Tour level. Like, if you're not spiking the entire tournament, it just, like, wasn't worth your time to go if you're, like, a functional adult who can get a real job. Well, we're super dead to that card. I think these green-white creature decks are pretty bad matchups for what we're playing. They have a lot of pretty redundant threats. In fact, I'm just not going to play this match. I'm just going to play the 5th match in this league. I'm going to go ahead and concede that and try another one. Like, don't get me wrong. Magic is a great game, and I love playing. I wouldn't be here if I didn't like playing Magic. But just like when you add a huge element of gambling, and like that cost of playing in that Magic tournament is definitely adding that gambling element to it. It removes a lot of the enjoyment for me personally, at least. Zhao Jang, thank you very much for the 7-month resubscription. Welcome back. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I agree. Voice of Resurgence decks are pretty terrible in Modern right now. Which is why tournaments every once in a while are fine. Sometimes you run good. And that's honestly the big reason I like playing the Opens too, is because if you do poorly day 1 of a Star City Open, they have the Classics on day 2, so you can still get to play a big tournament the second day as well. So you're guaranteed to get to play a large tournament both days of the weekend when you make the trip to go. Whereas like a Grand Prix, there's just like shitty side events and no major thing going on the second day that you can play. Oh, Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, Stoneforge Mystic. This is good, though. I want to play against this deck again. Get a feel for if this feels terrible or not. How many buys did I have when I played in Grand Prix? It depends on when. I played enough Opens that I had enough Planeswalker points for 3 buys for most of the time I was playing a bunch of Magic. WotC doesn't like good tutors for good reason. Tutors create overly redundant gameplay, and overly redundant gameplay is boring. Whoa, that's a spell. That's wild. How do tutors make gameplay redundant? Redundant means the same. So tutors allow your deck to do ideally the same thing every single game that you're playing. Whereas if you're just drawing random cards off the top of your deck, that's going to stem variety in gameplay because you don't have a ton of control over the top of your deck. Hello, tiny man. You want to say hi to the internet? I have bars down here? Oh, you don't want me, you just want the snacks that are behind my desk? I'm just a receptacle through which she receives snacks.
What's these right here?
You want that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
I bought you a new snack for your snack bucket.
You brought me a new snack. That's exciting.
For your
There you
snack bucket.
No.
No. Kids these days. No, you can't have those ones. Those are Dad's new snack.
Let him try your new snack.
Sorry. I muted myself for a moment there because, believe it or not, my children are loud. Can we just talk about like what an MVP Burst Lightning has been this league though? Burst Lightning has been like on the ball. Kick the crap out of that card. Having your cantrips be too high quality does lead to some of the same redundancy style things like I'm referring to with tutors though as well. That's brutal. Oh, they don't have a land. That's absurd for us. I mean, welp. Yeah, we already have trouble casting our spells sometimes because of Mutavault. So I think Cavern would be pretty terrible. I wonder if I'm supposed to leave this back here. I think you're underestimating the diminishing returns of adding variance to the game. A certain amount of variance is able to create your gameplay. It stops making the gameplay interesting and becomes frustrating. Actually, I think you sound like you're someone who enjoys Legacy. There are a lot of people that don't like Legacy, myself included, and part of the reason we don't like Legacy is because the redundancy that cards like Brainstorm and Ponder introduce to the format makes the gameplay fairly boring. It makes the gameplay too redundant and largely uninteresting, in my opinion. And you're allowed to disagree with that. That's a subjective opinion. But I think what Legacy has is bad. And part of the reason why Legacy lacks variety and doesn't have the variety that a format like Modern has is because of the cantrips. I think I just take the Bolt, right? Yeah, they're letting us take the Bolt because they want to try and hit a land, I think. This gives them a chance to hit a land to flip Bloodghast into play next turn. That's a Snapcaster Mage. Snapcaster Mage is good here, right? I like Legacy because of Wasteland. I do like Legacying people out on occasion myself, too. You can snap kick burst lightning. You can in fact snap kick burst lightning. That is a legal play. I'm gonna fire up all these in attack though, I think. I'm gonna leave the Spellstutter Sprite back to block just in case things go sideways. Because I only need to get them to 2 here, right? You can snap kicker. You can't snap overload, but you can snap kicker. Sure. All right, up a game here. We took Howled 1 to 3 games last time, too. Time to get my own insurance. Thank you, Juju Gooseby, for the 26-month resubscription. Welcome back. Welcome to everybody who's hanging out here. We got 1,200 people here as we're wrapping up today. I stream Modern here, if you're not familiar with myself, every day of the week, during the week. I'm here Monday through Friday. I start at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time on Mondays and Fridays. I start at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesday through Thursday. I think I like this. I think I like this. Thanks, Dreadnought. Thanks for being here. Huh. I'm gonna keep this. Let's just be a burn deck. Alpine Moon's fine. It's good against Valakut and Tron, which is why it's in the sideboard. That might be too slow, but we'll see. The third Obstructionist has been very, very good. I've been very happy with that addition. No, I haven't touched XD, Brian. I haven't felt... Immortal didn't really have enough people interested in playing it. The queue times were too long, and then, like, with all the other stuff they have going on, I'm, like, not really sure where their game's gonna end up at. They seem to be in a medium spot as far as everything is concerned. So... I'm gonna shock this in, and I'm gonna pass the turn here. Remember, my opponent, if they enter combat, I can double bolt this to take it off the board. And if they play like a Delve Threat or something pre-combat, I could remand that. So, in response, this trigger has an intervening if clause, which means it checks if they have a creature with 4 power, not only when it goes in the stack, but also when it resolves. So if I kill this Hallowed one before the trigger resolves, they don't get to bring the bird back. Flameblade Adept's not bad for us. When I write my primer about this deck next week, it's definitely going to have a big giant section that all it does is talk about why we shouldn't play a bunch of cards. Do I want to remand this? Do I want to remand this? Basically, the Wizard's Retort section is cancel a playable card in Modern. If it's not, then Wizard's Retort isn't playable. So what do I want to do here? I could just snap bolt the Flameblade Adept here and then start racing. I could also just remand this. I could also like play Vendilion Clique and get information. I'm gonna let this resolve, and I'm just gonna play the Vendilion Clique, I think. Like, I'm only going to 15 here, and then, like, depending on what their hand looks like, I can start attacking with the Mutavault as well here to have a pretty quick clock. That's brutal. All right, well, I'm going to push this Bolt out of their hand. So they have Gurmag, Fatal Push, and then one more card. Unsub's pretty good. I think adding Counterspell to the Modern card pool doesn't accomplish anything. So, like, why do it? I don't think any of the problems that the control decks have in Modern are solved by counterspell suddenly existing in the format. Like, how is counterspell gonna help blue-white control beat Dredge? It's not. Maybe it would make their Tron matchup a bit less rancid, but I don't think it would really. Unsubstantiate's been really impressive. I've been happy that I made that change. The Censors, I don't think I've played enough games with to evaluate them. I could kind of take or leave that one. It's possible that's too many 2-mana spells, but I've been really impressed with the unsubs. I think 2 of these feels good. What would solve problems that control decks have? A 20-card sideboard, a 30-card sideboard, more ways to... God, that's rancid. All right, well, let's hope we keep one of these 3 cards, huh? This is extra bad for us. Oh, they discarded the Gurmag Angler. That's good to know. And the Fatal. They didn't discard the Fatal Push. So when they enter combat here with this, I'll Burst Lightning it. That's super unfortunate for us. Because they have Fatal Push here too. This triggers Revolt for them so they can Fatal Push our Vendilion Clique. They're going to attack us down to 10 here. I thought the Clique were just, like, really not in a position to race. I think Modern would be better with 5 extra sideboard slots, or would reduce variety if more decks could improve certain matchups. I don't know. I don't know is the answer. Yeah, I don't want to play a shitty aggro deck. I like that this deck is like a mid-range tempo deck, as opposed to just like an all-in Teamer Battle Rage mutagenic growth nonsense deck. Like, if I wanted to play like a linear all-in aggro deck, I wouldn't play Blue-Red Wizards. I would play something else that's more effective at doing that. Like, building Blue-Red Wizards as an all-in aggro deck feels like I'm building a worse version of, like, 3 or 4 other different archetypes that I could be playing instead. I think we're pretty dead here. That burning Inquiry off the top was just, like, too absurd for us. I can snap Unsubstantiate on this Hollowed one. I mean, like, would it mean more awful cards like Blood Moon or Choke, or would it mean that my fair decks could afford to have, like, 4 cards to bring in to take Blood Moon off the table? Like, I think that's what it would be more than anything. Brohan's Joms, thank you for the brand new Tier 1 sub and welcome. I appreciate that. We are 1-3 Anoronics. I think I have to do this to race. I could see an argument merit to leaving up double Remand, but I think I just need to try and kill them here. Hopefully one Remand's going to be enough to stop whatever they have going on. Hopefully they have, like, Goblin Lore and not Burning Inquiry. If they have BI, we're probably just dead. Assuming they keep their what's it called, their Hollowed one. There's a deck list on your screen. If you're on mobile, you can type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. Oh, I'm just dead to the land, right? Just dead to that, yep. I mean, transformative sideboards being more viable, that's a knock in. That's a point in favor, not a point against in my mind. Transformative sideboards are sweet and allow for lots of complexity and leveling and stuff like that. Thanks everyone for hanging out today, by the way, through the end. We've been going for a little over 6 hours. It's going to be my last game of the evening. This is our 4th league we've played today. As always, remember, if you enjoy my stuff and you didn't catch everything that we did today, check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. 100% of my stuff gets archived there. Brog, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Welcome. What if we didn't do that? Soulscar Mage is really interesting. Yeah, I agree with your assessment that it, like, actually fixes problems that this archetype has. And, like, that's actually good deck building. Like, you hear me say that constantly if you watch this stream, like, okay, that's a neat idea, but, like, how does it fix a problem we have? How is that fixing issues this deck has? So, like, the fact that, like, Soulscar Mage is, like, another 1-drop threat that allows us to be aggressive, that also helps us trade our removal spells up into larger threats, seems like it could actually be very, very good. And maybe that is worth testing. Alright, I thought I could race last time and I was wrong. I think I can race this time. Hopefully I'm not wrong. I think I'm actually going to click myself here because the Staticaster's not doing much and I really want a Lightning Bolt or a Wizard Lightning. Roast isn't as good, but at least, like, takes their threat off the table. Severine, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. What do you think about Scred Swans? Scred Swans is sweet. We've played that on stream before, Twizzle. It's actually in the donation queue right now, getting pretty close to the top again. So we'll be playing it on stream soon enough. Yep. Good news is that Wizard Lightning and Lightning Bolt are both lethal currently. Yeah, they can flashback Faithless Looting. This is fine. They've been double Blood Gas. That's real bad for us, especially since I pushed my Staticaster. Alright, 8 lethal draws. Can I donate for a deck or is it still? I am still on a partial freeze with the queue. Yeah, we have lethal with the Snapcaster Mage, which I think I'm supposed to go for here. Because, like, any burn spell's still lethal if I draw it. I think I'm supposed to do this. Target a thing, sure. Like, obviously, if they have, like, push or bolt where they're not dead, but... Ding. Alright, sweet. Well, we finished 2 intuitive matches we actually played. We conceded a match to green-white bad cards because we're never beating green-white bad cards with blue-red bad cards. Blue-red bad cards confirmed. Not good enough against green-red bad cards. Green-white, whatever they are. Alright. Squeak this one out against Hollowed One. I really like the idea of Soulscar Mage. I might have to test that out. Might have to test Soulscar Mage out. Naya, whatever, details. And the 2 matches that we lost involved a mulligan to 4 and a match where a game where we had just had far too many lands. Unsubstantiate was really good. I like that card a lot in this configuration. The question is, if I wanted to try Soulscar Mage, I'd have to probably cut a threat. I don't know if that's good or not. I feel like I need to play another set of games with Censor to get a feel for it, but I'm pretty confident that I'm going to end up keeping these Unsubstantiates, just like basically like 8 2-mana counter spells in a way. Yeah, that's a pretty different deck, Ads. It's a pretty functionally different deck. If you've watched the stream before, you know I don't really like to do a ton of deck building on stream. So, just too many people shouting too many ideas, and people get frustrated when you don't hear all their ideas. So, unsubs were good. I don't know what I want to do with these censors. They might be better as ops again. The third Obstructionist was absurd. I think I would definitely continue playing that. This Harvest Pyre is silly. I'm going to just make it a second copy of Roast. And then I probably want to figure out if the Staticaster is better as Staticaster or Grim Lavamancer. The QB Turtle 15. Oh, Magic Online usernames. 5-0 to Competitive League with an iteration of this archetype. And they had 2 Nimble, 2 Grim Lavamancer in the main deck, which is interesting. I don't know if I love all of their sideboard chases, like Jace and Surgical Extraction seem pretty medium, but a lot of what else they're going on, what they have going on. They're on 4 copies of Opt here. Yeah, I think Lava Man's a good card. I mean, we have a ton of 1-mana things for Snapcaster Mage to get back. You see, this list cut Burst Lightning too, and Burst Lightning was just like very, very good in all the matches that we played today. So I don't know that I would cut Burst Lightning. I'm a pretty big fan of that card. At any rate, that's going to wrap up for me for today. Hope everybody had a great time. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'll be going till about now then as well. And thank you for the subs and resubs as always, and I will catch all y'all around later, hopefully. Let's find someone to host.